So if you were not paying attention, the entirety of the mainstream news media just fell for one of the biggest whoppers in journalism history. Okay, so let's break it all down for you. So you know podcast host Joe Rogan, of course, the Joe Rogan experience, all of that. So he is not somebody that wants to take the vaccine for himself, and he ended up coming down with COVID. Now, he was treated by his doctors with a cocktail of, I believe it was hydroxychloroquine, it was ivermectin, it was a couple of different things. Now, as for ivermectin, this is a drug that is being used in humans. It actually won the Nobel Prize. It's an anti-parasitical, but apparently it works in some aspect with COVID. So Joe Rogan went on his podcast and said that that was one of the things that he took. And so now the left took that and ran with it. They ran with the absolute lie that this ivermectin drug was a horse dewormer. That's a lie. That's not true. It's used in animals and humans. So it's not just some crazy thing. And so then it gets better. A local report that came from NBC News in Oklahoma City basically said that a small hospital system was being overrun with patients that had overdosed on this ivermectin drug, and that they were having to turn away people that were, that got gunshot wounds and all this other stuff, and they were being overwhelmed. The only problem with this story is that it is absolutely false. They quoted one doctor who that healthcare system had to come out and say that this doctor works for a medical staffing company, and also he has not even worked with us for the past 2 months. So of course, this thing was a complete and total lie. But that did not stop this lie from being spread by the entirety of the mainstream media. Oh, and let's give you some of the outlets that ran with this story. Rolling Stone, The Nation, Newsweek, The Guardian, and our favorite liberal media darling, Rachel Maddow. These are all outlets that shared and retweeted and reblogged and reposted this story that ended up being completely false. Now, why did they do that? Because this completely false story helped them push a mainstream media narrative, which is that these Trump-supporting rubes that live down in Oklahoma or whatever are not getting vaccinated and they're taking horse dewormer drugs. So, case in point, if you're able to follow all of this stuff, do not trust the mainstream media. They are hopelessly partisan. The mainstream corporate media is hopelessly partisan. They cannot be objective. And they are perfectly fine spreading absolute lies. And by the way, not even apologizing for any of it. Some of these tweets are still up. Rolling Stone, the tweet is still up. So they are perfectly fine spreading these absolute lies if they align with the politics that they are trying to push. This absolute whopper of a story being pushed out by the entirety of the mainstream media is why nobody trusts these people anymore, and neither should you.